Thank you.
Got it again.
Yeah. All right. Relax. We got it. All right. Sorry.
Dude, we just said like the juiciest stuff too.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We have audio now.
Yeah.
It's.
No, there's no audio.
Yeah, there's totally audio. I can see it.
Oh, it is audio.
I know there's audio.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that. My bad.
Third time's the charm.
Third time is the charm. Today's one of those days. Josh, we for those of you who don't know, this is our good friend Josh Bowen. Sorry, I don't know why I said Bowen.
Yeah, it's
Bowen.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
I actually misspelled your last name before too. So
yes, you did the one bad thing. You put an E on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Benete.
it's. I let it slide. It's like one of those things. It's like two things drive me crazy, and that's one of them. But I was like, it's okay. It's okay. You're old. You'll get over it. Anyways, Josh is here. He's from JVC Kenwood. Today he is the what is your job title today?
I am the digital content and marketing manager now. Is my name.
So
my
basically,
title.
he knows stuff. He knows stuff. Direct replacement has been on our conversation for the last what month? 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pretty excited about that. We went to a training last night. He's like, hey, can I stay? And I said, well, I'll bribe you. I'll give you a 210s box for your F-150. And he's like, okay. Yeah. So he got a nice MTI 210 box.
I got my first installer scratch in a while.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
I know. I was actually like when I was washing up a little bit, I was very proud of that.
Yeah, this was yesterday.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I was like, fantastic. Good job. High five.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm back in the club.
Back in the club. Anyways, we got him here. You guys always have questions about Kenwood and or JVC or direct replacement. So we thought we'd have him on and ask him questions. Just talk about the stuff. So if you want to get your questions in, Fernando will highlight them. Say hi, Fernando.
Hi, Fernando.
He's over here. And so we will try to get to as many questions in the hour as possible. So, and there again, I'd like to apologize for the false start. Flag on the play. I don't even know what I was doing. I forgot I had started the show and I ended the show. It's basically what happened. So let's head up here to the top. We'll just kind of go through, get past the no audio stuff. Third time's a charm. Yay. Now we can hear you. Yes, totally amateurs. Let's get right into the Kenwood. Good evening, gentlemen. What's up, Danny? Brought to you by Smash Force Productions. Yeah, we already got the audio. We know it's let it go, man. So what speaker and amp do you recommend to put it at 56 Chevy sedan? The ones that fits. I mean, really what it comes down to. Yep. The ones that fit.
That's like a blank slate scenario.
Yeah. Tell us about phase 2 and 3. Will Lexus and the Mark Levinson be included?
So we don't have the way that this is going to be working is, we've talked about this in like the phase 1 being the initial launch, but that's really just the initial launch. From here on out, it's not going to be like a phase 2, a phase 3. It's just as the new vehicles are ready and compatible, those kits will then be released, right? So this is like a conglomerate. So it's us and it's Maestro. So, they rely on us for obviously like the actual physical components. And then we rely on them for the brackets and the integration side of it. So it's us working together on those two things. And as that compatibility grows, it's just going to come out, right? So when this vehicle is ready, this kit's going to launch. So it's not like we're going to hold on to like 15 more vehicles.
Yeah, you're going to marvel it. You're not going to marvel
it. Yeah, we're not going to marvel it. No, like when it's done and when it's ready, it's going to go. As far as like vehicles and that, we're still going back and forth, right? I mean, I've heard a lot of conversations about some vehicles. Right now we're launching with the 8, right? And then the 10.1, which is a great solution, but there are some other screen sizes that we need to tackle. For example, Lexus does not use an 8-inch screen. So we got to kind of see how this category does, and then we get to decide from there, what screen size is the next size. So I can't say confidently if Lexus is going to be a, this year vehicle, next year vehicle, 5 years from now vehicle. I wish I could, but unfortunately I don't have that answer.
You Cadillac guys will be happy soon.
Yeah, that I can say.
We just got a price sheet for the new radios. Woohoo! There you go.
I look at that as like the Ric Flair. Woo!
Woo boy. Woo!
Yeah.
Nature boy.
That's how. Yeah. That's how
Did you watch the 30 on 30 about him?
No.
Do you like Ric Flair?
I don't dislike Ric Flair.
Did you ever watch 30 on 30s?
Nope.
Look, I'm not a big sports guy, so I don't. But I don't know why I had to watch that. It was really good.
Here's another one. Let's see.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh. Hi, David. I have a question about direct replacement. Still early May. Yeah. So that some of the models actually started shipping yesterday to your dealers, and the Apex kits started shipping yesterday to dealers.
Yeah.
And then there are some other models that will be shipping over the next week or two, whenever they start actually rolling out to dealers. As far as 2022, we got one of these that we brought along with us, which is like a little fit guide, because we had a feeling these questions were going to come up. And I don't remember what year range Colorado is covered at launch.
That's 15 to 18.
15 to 18, I see. And let's double check it doesn't go beyond 2019 to 2023. So yes, if you have the 8-inch screen in there, it will work. The Bose integration is not handled on the Maestro side quite yet. But if you're going to bypass the Bose amp, then you are good to go. So that vehicle is a good vehicle.
Fantastic.
Great news. It's nice being able to say yes.
I know.
It's something
Dude,
we've said a lot lately.
You know, it was so funny when Jaeger had the trainer position.
Mm-hmm.
He had such a rough time because that was back when like nothing worked and
Yeah.
like Spotify was just coming out. And he was like, "Next year, we'll get it next year."
Next year.
Next year was his favorite. Next year,
Next
we're
year.
working on it. That just next
he still
year.
does that.
Yeah.
I have heard him do that. Like when the Mic 1 was, everybody's asking about the Mic 1 all the time. I've heard him say, "Next year."
Yeah, that was always things. Hello from Australia. Nice.
Yeah.
8:10 a.m. 40 degrees.
That's 8:10 a.m. May 1st.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
So
tomorrow.
they're ahead of us.
I would be doing something else.
Yeah.
I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
Just
Wait.
install what?
But we're hanging out right now.
I know, but I'd still be happy.
Okay.
I mean, because we'd have been done with this.
Well, I'll be home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
yeah, it's okay.
All right. Fair.
Just install the Kenwood 9720 XDS. Which one is that?
That is not a U.S. model.
I was gonna say that cannot be a U.S. model.
Yes. So that is that is also the same person that said hello from Australia. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yes.
Yep.
It's
So-
a 9 series, so that's all that matters.
I was gonna say it'd be like 9708S probably.
Probably.
I think
Yeah.
maybe not.
It has that weird tuner in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Brad?
Brad looks familiar.
Brad is the primary at Arc Audio.
That's why Brad looks
Big, tall guy.
familiar. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay,
that is
got
Brad.
it.
Brad.
Yeah.
Yep. Brad.
We hung out with Brad a little bit at Master Tech.
Yes. Brad is a great guy.
Yep.
We have French fry nights now when we go to Master Tech.
That tracks.
Yeah, because we both love
Do you
French
go to a
fries.
fancy steakhouse?
No, we go across the street at the bar
the sports bar.
because they have great French fries.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know what else they got, but they got great French fries, so that's all that matters. Hey guys, got a time alignment question for you. So on a passive two-way setup, I'm told to aim the mid bass in the door to the headrest. Now my question is, should do your time alignment in milliseconds, centimeters, or inches for the most accurate time alignment setting? So if there again, inches and centimeters doesn't matter. You just set it up for one or the other. Milliseconds, you have to do the math to convert seconds to inches to milliseconds. So if it will do that for you, there's no reason to do it after the fact. So long story short is if you live in the US, set it to inches. If you live anywhere else, set it to centimeters. The whole purpose is the milliseconds will figure themselves out once the math is done. So yeah. And make sure you go to the center of the cone. You're invited.
I got invited to French Fry Night.
You got, dude. It's a great time.
I'm crashing the party next year.
We brought Haley this time.
Okay.
So, which they're Debbie Downer that Haley is. So. I mean, we'll make it a thing. everyone will go bowling and do that kind of thing, and we'll go across the street and we'll have a French fry party.
I do like bowling.
I like bowling too.
I'm not good at it, but I like it.
I'm lying. I absolutely hate bowling. I just said it because the girls play it all the time. So tell us about the genesis of direct replacement. Whose brainchild was it? How long has it been in development?
Okay, so direct replacement. I'm a big fan of giving credit where credit is due. That was a Maestro. Maestro was the brainchild behind it. So Maestro came to us, and I'm fortunate to work for a company that was the first partner of Maestro. So it's kind of nice getting to be the first for things, right?
Yeah.
So they came to us and they said, hey, look, we've got this idea, right? The dash in the car has changed so much that if you look at all this data, and they provided us with a bunch of information about cars and how easy it is to change the radio out in cars, and up to 2022, which actually dropped down to 19% of the vehicles were compatible vehicles for radio replacement that were manufactured that year. So they brought that information to us, and they said, we've got this idea, right, of how to create these brackets using this harness system. We need somebody to get on board with us that will create the type of receivers and products that we need to be able to use this system that we want to design. So, we gave it some thought and we said, yeah, we're in. As far as how long has this been in development? This has been in development for a while. So I would say at least the last 2 years, if not more like 4, probably. I remember hearing whispers of this several years ago.
Right around this time you started.
I was going to say, really, it was right around the time that I started, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could be trusted. So
No,
I
you
would just
couldn't.
walk in and the conversation would just kind of go dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you realize oh, someone's talking about something and I need to exit stage left. So, but yeah, so it's been around for a while. The conversations have been happening for quite some time, and there's been a lot of revisions, a lot of changes, chassis depth restrictions, things like that. We thought we had it cracked for all these vehicles, and then realizing this specific vehicle with this specific mounting type, we're 15 centimeters too deep, right? So there was a lot of that going back and forth, but it's been something that's been in the works for, I would say confidently, the last 4 years, maybe even longer since the conversation started. But I am incredibly happy that we can finally talk about it.
Yes.
Because it's been such a hard secret to keep when you see the struggle and you see what's been going on and you see the amount of people that have been wanting to change their radios out in their cars.
Oh, yeah.
And they haven't been able to. So this is a very exciting thing to talk about. And it's probably the most excited that I have been about a product launch since I've been in the industry. Like before I even worked.
Well, yeah, because
here.
there really wasn't anything to talk about.
Right. No.
Hey, we got another double din. Oh,
yeah.
Ooh, we got a short chassis double din. We got a big floating screen. Wait, is this the 90s over again?
Yeah.
Does it motorize out of the dash? No, it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't we try that? No one liked it, but we're gonna go back to it anyways. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Mercedes, for making floating screen radios cool again, right?
Right.
Well,
and you said a word earlier that I like because it's a word that makes sense for direct replacement too, like the motorized screens.
Yeah.
Right. So even on like the OEM side, like if you look at GM vehicles, they have like your Tahoes, Yukons, I think the Corvettes, maybe even some of the Impalas. They have like hidden pockets in the dash, right? And this type of a structure now allows us to maintain that OEM functionality. So with these, like if you put in the direct replacement for the Tahoes and the Yukons, then that motorized structure stays motorized, right? You can hit the button and the screen actually goes down and comes up, which we've used in some of our digital marketing. There's been some videos we've put out that kind of advertise that because it's a really cool feature.
Other than nefarious, I really don't know what that was for. Like why GM did that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I think it's like
it's kind of silly.
Just a funny little trick that they,
Yeah. Let's make more things in the car that can break. Marty, what is up? Oh, this is a good question. Hold on. Display resolution.
Yeah, so display resolution is a full HD resolution. So it is a big improvement over the OEM screen. Whenever it's your factory 8-inch as opposed to this 8-inch. It is a noticeable difference in resolution. It's 1280 by 720 on that. And then on the 10.1s, they do still have an optically bonded screen, So that helps that display to look even better.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That is a gorgeous screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Throw it up there. You can do it, man. I have a Kenwood 995. There is white dots in the bottom corner. That's an old radio.
Yeah, 995. We're at 997 is still current, but that's been out for
4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
995. That's awesome that it still works.
Yeah, that's.
But
I don't have an answer for you. That's a tough one. I mean, the reality is it's not worth getting the screen repaired.
Yeah.
And that is, yeah. I mean, that's not a common thing. So those are just dead pixels.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you do have the option. You can contact a dealer local to you, and they can ship it off and get that screen repaired for you if that's something that you do want to do. But unfortunately, there's not something we can do to reboot it and clear it. Right.
So back to the time alignment question. The one thing about Alpine that they not really clear about is you have to, now knowing it's an Alpine, you have to do the math, meaning you have to find the 0 point. So typically when you're doing time alignment, the passenger front speaker is the farthest thing away, and you have to subtract. So let's say that's 48, this is 36. That's going to be 0, this is going to be 12. So you're probably accidentally getting it to sound better just because you're switching the form of measurement, but there has to be a 0, which is the farthest speaker out, and then the difference between those are the numbers you actually put in on an Alpine. You got to do math, so they don't do it for you. If you had to guess where direct replacement will be in another 5 years, where do you see the product evolving into?
I like this question. It's been asked a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I think I'd give the same answer that I gave last night in the training, right?
Yeah.
The evolution of this product category really depends on you guys, right? If this product category does as good as we believe it will do, then it will continue to evolve, right? And the only limitation that we really have on our side of life is providing the proper screen size. So as long as this category has the success we believe it to, then, we'll see different screen sizes. We'll be able to get into different vehicles like the Lexus that someone asked about earlier. That's all vehicles that we want, right? But also being a large company like we are, everything is evaluated with numbers. I did see someone earlier said like fortune favors the bold. I love that. And this was like I guess a bit of a risk, right? We're creating something new. You got to see, how it responds and how people go into that. But at the same time, like if it doesn't do as good as we want it to do, then I don't know what it'll be like in 5 years. But I can tell you if it does do as good as we believe it will do, like 5 years from now, we'll probably see a lot of different screen sizes within that time frame.
Yeah, and this kind of falls into that same thing. The reality is this is a Japanese company, and the Japanese companies, as you found out, if things don't do what they expect them to do, they get benched. Right. And that's not just JVC or Kenwood. That's Alpine. That's Sony. That's all these guys. Because if you go back and look at like products that have existed throughout the past that were really cool, but they were before their time. And because a lot of these companies will come out with stuff way too soon. Yeah.
I mean, I know this may be mildly controversial, but the XR660 SP, to me is like a great example of that. I thought it was a great amp. I thought it was a really cool idea. And, we partnered with Maestro to create something that was new at the time. Yep. And it ended up dead in the water.
Yeah. Right? Well, the world wasn't ready for it. Right. The installers just weren't getting it.
But now DSP is like a daily conversation. Right. It's a daily topic. A household name.
But that's the thing, though. They're all once bitten, twice shy.
Sure. Exactly.
And they're like, no, you do.
Yep.
It's like, but no. Yeah. You guys are on your own. The Gladiator, that 12-inch screen in the Gladiator, that would be fantastic because I believe Hyundai uses that same, that vertical screen. Yep. That would be a great one. But there again, we got to sell some of these before we can worry about the next one.
So the Gladiator is a compatible vehicle. but it's not the 12-inch.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Josh, are they going to make something like a 1007 XR in the new DR line? What's it?
Direct replacement.
Oh, okay.
So, and I guess we can look at this in two different aspects, right? So, in one aspect, they did, right? The 10.1, it's the same screen. It's a very similar OS, but it does have some improvements to that and some new feature sets that have been implemented into it. For obviously, like fiber optic being a very big one. The big thing about the DNR 1007 XR is that was one of the models that had built-in Garmin.
Yes.
And that will not be continued moving forward.
Right.
So, and I think we can say that publicly now. It's on our website. So, but yeah, so we won't see like a 1008, but there is a 1050, right? Which is
1058.
Yeah. Well, and then we'll also have in the non-direct replacement line, we'll have a DMX 1058 XR, which is the replacement for the 1057. So that's going to a single DIN. And
short chassis single DIN.
Shorter.
Yeah.
Shorter. Single DIN. And that'll also have the optical out and some of the new features like pitch and roll and split screen Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, things like that.
And no, before you ask, your older units are not going to be upgradable to any of these things because they're totally different chips.
I'm guessing that comes up.
Always. Can I? No. Well, I mean, it's a fair question because like you buy a laptop, you buy a phone, you can upgrade it to the most recent OS and stuff like that. But car audio just has never adopted that because everything is so, no, this is the chip. This is all it can do.
Right.
And, yeah, we did it. We put it this way. We were so quiet. The companies that were being asked didn't even know. So we knew a lot of dirt, but that's why we're paid to keep our mouth shut.
Right.
So Toshlink out for all. I mean, that would be fantastic. And there again, this is like you were talking about last night. I feel the Toshlink out is like HDMI. You know?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted it. And they took it away, and then we immediately found out that 1% of the 1% of the 1% that use it are really loud.
Yeah.
And so
they were loud enough to get it back.
They were loud enough to get it back. Everyone has been screaming for Toshlink. Yay! So it's on obviously a couple of these. If it becomes a hit, then we'll see where it goes. I mean, obviously, if it's functional, whatever replaces a 958 or 908 or, that could possibly get it. And that is coming from someone, not him. It's just coming from a reasonable thought because those units aren't getting replaced yet. So,
yep.
Go ahead.
Why can we not put the JVC volume trick on the Kenwoods? Love that feature. I am assuming you're talking about gesture touch control.
Yeah.
So the big reason is Kenwood's got a volume knob. So it has this, not this, right? JVC doesn't have the volume knob, which is why they maintain that feature. Plus, like it's important for us to keep separating features, separating the brands, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we give Kenwood everything JVC has and vice versa, then why do we have JVC and Kenwood? So that's really the biggest thing. We build two different products to cater to different markets, right? JVC typically has a more interactive GUI, usually feature sets that tend to be favorites of like a younger demographic, right? Like, your teenagers, early 20s, things like that. Live wallpapers.
It's got VU meters, man.
Yeah. And it does have the VU meters actually. So it goes back and forth, right?
I'm torn now because it's like, I want the VU meters, but I also want the Toshlink out.
Yeah.
This sucks.
I know that part is it, right? But Toshlink goes specific to the Exelon family.
Yep. One day, one can hope.
Yep.
I just
On the direct replacement line in the 10.1, are they going to make unit with navigation? I think we just covered that.
Yeah, Fernando likes to do that. He likes to beat a topic till it's dead.
Yeah.
No more Garmin.
For further information on that, go to our website.
Shed a tear there. Would you describe direct replacement as more DIY friendly, less DIY friendly, or equal to previous units?
A little bit of both.
I would say is like we've installed the Chevy, and Fernando and I have installed a Chevy, and I've installed a Ford. It's about the same as the current radio installation goes. Like If you've installed an MFT1, it's very similar to that. The nice thing is some of these cars are going to be more difficult. Some of them are going to be more difficult, like the Chevy with the motorization and stuff like that.
That would be like the motorized screen installations are
going to be tough.
Those are going to be tough. Those are not simple jobs.
iData has done a really good job of trying to make everything as simple as possible, but somehow we still get people that come in here, and we'll flash the module for you before you leave, and by will, I mean Paul. And we still get people that come in here and manage to screw the whole thing up. And it's real easy for us to find that out because we just look to see what you've plugged in. And when you've plugged in everything, we go, yeah, you didn't look at the instructions. So, and they have the easiest instructions to follow, and people still screw it up. So when you say DIY friendly, it's friendly now and people can't figure it out. So, this ain't IKEA. Bro, I just put some IKEA stuff together this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they are like next level. Like I didn't need one tool. Like it's like a snap tight with wood.
Weird.
It's the craziest thing.
We don't have those in my part of Lower Alabama.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it's a shame. It's really good. There's one in Tampa.
I know.
Next time,
and there's another one in Jacksonville. It's the closest one I have to me.
Oh God, that's a drive.
I know. That's why I don't go often.
Yeah, meatballs are good though. I'm told. I don't know. Can the new direct replacement head unit support hard drives, SSD? Yeah, they do that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. SSDs, yeah.
It switched to a USB-C connection type, but
I will say I don't know how fun it is to use that.
It's got to be categorized properly.
You got to put a lot of effort into
right?
it.
You can't just throw like 500 songs on a hard drive and put it in. It's got to be set up, through artist, album, whatever. That way you can actually get to it through the sub menus inside of that USB folder. And that's the part that complicates things.
Hey Siri, can you play this song for me?
I know. Yeah, I know.
I'll pay. I'm sorry. I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Exelon XR three-way active speakers in the works. So that comes to product development, which I'll save you the headache of going, you don't get involved in that.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear the whispers, and then I get the exit stage left that we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. They're very particular about not letting these guys. You guys need plausible deniability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you could say it would be great. I mean, the 6903 is the closest to a three-way set that you have, which is cool because it works. We use it as a three-way set often.
Yeah.
We'll buy amp the 3.5s because we're crazy like that. They sound so good.
We just did that in that Corvette that we had at Master Tech.
Oh, they buy amp the 3.5s?
Well, we did a three-way, active three-way on the original installation. So we did the XR 1801Ps, and then we added in the
C2s?
3.
Oh no,
was it the 2s? I don't remember what's in the mid range in that. Is it 2 3/4 or 3.5?
Well, the 3.5 has a tweeter.
It's a 3.5. It was a 3.5, yeah. Because we did end up actually deactivating the tweeter in the door and just utilizing the coax in the dash. So,
nice.
But it sounded great.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was the one Fred was tuning, right?
Yeah, Fred was helping us out with that. Yeah, absolutely. We're very grateful for Fred's help on that as well.
Evening, gents. I have a 2022 Jeep Compass. I'm upgrading the speakers, and I have the KFC X3Cs for the dash corners. My question is, what door speaker would match up well with them?
I just said the XR 1801 sounded great.
Okay.
But what's the door speaker in a Jeep
Compass?
Is it 6.5 or 6x9?
I have no idea. If I feel like it's a 6x9, I probably would have just got the 6903 set.
Yeah.
Because you guys don't make a 6.5-inch mid bass a la carte or a 6x9 a la carte. We've made them before. We'll pull out the tweeters and sell them separately, but yeah. I mean, there again, if you're just going for loud, they make the Exelon 6x9s. They're kind of deep though. You might want to look at the 7-inch, right? Is that the 1801?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Check out the 7-inch, the Exelon 7-inch.
Yep.
They come with brackets to fit into 6x9s as well as those things have really nice mid bass. We used to call them the mid bass monsters back before the 6x9 came out because that's what we used to put in all our 6x9 locations was the 7-inch.
Yeah.
So You had those in the front of your truck for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I loved them.
Yeah. Will Kenwood look into complete kits for specific vehicles, direct replacement radios, pre-tuned DSP amps? There again, yeah, silver enclosures would go great with last gen Dodge Vipers. Oh yeah, because Vipers are, lots of Vipers out there. Yeah. Everyone's working. Actually, it's funny. Brian Mitchell's working on is getting ready to start a Viper. I was like, hey, have fun.
That is one car I've never worked on.
Really?
In my career, I have never touched a Viper.
It's okay.
I've worked on, Lamborghinis and obviously plenty of Porsches and all that, but never had a Viper roll in.
Yeah, the older ones sucked. Just very fragile. Question for Josh. For the radios that don't have volume knobs, will there be a solution for entry-level trucks? What do you mean, Mary Lou?
Yeah.
So the 8-inch screen, let's say if you were going to do the 8-inch, panel screen, there is an IR in the box and a remote control. And there's a touch function to have volume drop-down menu on the screen with no knob. Right. So there's plenty of ways to control the volume if you're going to be doing like a custom install where you want to just flush a screen into the dash. So you can either tap the top of the screen and the volume pops down.
Yes, you tap there's a little arrow at the top that's kind of like a ghost, like a silhouette, right? You tap that and then it brings down that sub menu where you can have volume up and volume down.
Or you just plug the IR in and you can use your remote control.
Yep. And it's also compatible with the Kenwood remote app.
Oh, there you go. Through Bluetooth.
Long but not forgotten.
Totally forgotten. I was going to say.
By me.
Yeah.
By me.
Any idea when direct replacement info will be up on the Kenwood page, or am I just looking harder, not looking hard enough? So the pamphlet is up.
Well, this is up through some other channels, but we do have the direct replacement websites have gone live.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. So if you go to our homepage, there's a banner at the top that says direct replacement.
Can you do that, Fernando?
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna look so dumb now if it's not, but it's.
Well, I found this on your website.
It's supposed to.
This was on the catalog was on the website.
Yeah, I think Japan may have uploaded it. I sent it to them.
I found it by accident. Yeah. I was looking very hard for it.
All right.
Let's see.
Car entertainment.
Yep.
Hold on, we're gonna make sure it's there first.
Yeah, we're double checking me, fact checking me. That's happened a lot lately. Click that banner. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, it's safe to go.
All right. Yeah.
So let's back up. So there you go. Direct replacement. This was a scrolling at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So we just clicked on it when it flipped across the top.
And tomorrow, that's not going to say coming soon anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
there they are.
Here,
there.
You can click on
click on one of the 8-inch.
Yep.
Now you can see the specifics. Beautiful screen.
I always love the nature pictures that they put up on these
things.
It's like, what the hell is that? Who's viewing that?
It's a movie.
This is what I want to see when I'm driving.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You should be able to scroll down. There should be plenty of information on that if you keep going down.
Fernando doesn't know how to scroll.
Yeah. So that'll, features, specs, and then keep going down. There's some dash shots. Now, the one thing that may not be live yet is if you go back up a little bit for me, please, where it says click here for the compatible vehicle list. Maybe actually, no, I think that's probably where you found this.
Yes.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, so we do have our, this little pamphlet that I'm holding up in my hand. That is just a digital version. Sorry, that is just a digital version of the same image that we have here. So, but all the information should be there as far as product specs, features, all that kind of great stuff. Where we're at as far as what vehicles at launch will be compatible. You have access to view all that too. And we are working on our own fit guide that will go on our website once that's finalized too. So there's going to be lots of ways to find out all the information. Maestro is going to be updating their website if they haven't already. I'm not sure what time frame they have. But they'll be, integrating all of the Apex product into their website as well.
This is a great question. Will 5-Star be doing direct replacement install videos to showcase how it should be done, or will we wait until it's available and car come in wanting and needing it? So oddly enough, JVC will be releasing a video that Fernando and I.
Oddly enough, JVC has already released a video.
So, I will try to get the video so that I can release it.
Mhm.
I'll be out of town for the next couple days, so we did film some videos. I filmed the video with Matt, and I filmed the video with you on features, which will be going up the next couple days. And if I can get the install video from Ben, I'll from the Dropbox.
I can just give it to you.
All right, so I'll put that up also for you guys to watch over the next couple days. So
I
that
have it.
yeah, so we'll
It's
share
mine.
that. Yeah. Anyways, so
It's all mine.
we were actors. I just want to preface it with we were actors in this video. They were very specific about what we could and could not say.
So what is your favorite word?
It is not a
Dash kits.
It is not a typical. So oddly enough, so they when we filmed the video, they wanted to they want to call these things kits, even though they are dash kits. They wanted to be a little bit more glamorous.
Well, the thought was to remove the concept that it's a traditional piece of plastic,
Correct.
right?
I
Because
get
it's
it.
not.
No, I get it. I got lectured on it.
Well, I know. I am the one that lectured you.
I know. And so, anyways, for 35 years saying dash kit and then being like, no, just call them kits. Yeah, Dean didn't do well. It was a long day.
My favorite was after you'd finally make it through like a good 2 or
it's
3
like-
minutes spiel.
Yeah.
And then we're like, yeah, you said kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, oh man, it was
We've
rough.
had a lot of fun throughout this process, though.
Fantastic.
This has been fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a great time in Dallas. We had a great time filming that. We had a wonderful time at CMA.
Yeah,
We had Vegas was fantastic.
Vegas was nuts.
I mean, I felt bad for Calvin getting sick, but we had a great class.
he deserves it for a comment he made earlier.
But getting sick?
Yeah, he deserves it.
Oh. And hey, we said I said some really good stuff.
That in no way reflected the
Yeah,
values
exactly.
or views of JVC Kenwood Corporation.
Bro, I was, it was funny because when we were in Canada, I was searching for something to say that I could get you to say that because I knew you would. I was like, something's got to be here. I got to say something that will get him to say that.
Yeah.
Because I knew the crowd would appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I don't remember what it was, but
For me, the funny one is Vegas when you guys actually release the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
and he says something, and you right away is like, okay, I just wanna, point it out that Dean doesn't work for the
that's
company.
that's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was like,
No, that was the California. Was that the California reference?
Yeah, that was a reference.
Yeah, that was the California
to
reference.
fires. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was totally an accident.
wow.
Yeah.
Worked out really well though.
No.
I mean,
It was funny.
okay. What was the question that we just didn't answer?
Oh yeah, there was something that was up.
I'm super excited that the 4.3-inch F150, but I did get a bit sticker shock when I saw the price on Crutchfield earlier. There again, this is new product. This is a new category. And with all of those things, you have first run pricing. That's the only way to say it. I mean, there will be different price points. So JVC has a 10-inch that is not an Exelon. It
Correct.
is not Toslink. That will be cheaper than the Kenwood equivalent.
Yeah.
Or Kenwood upgrade. I won't say equivalent. Size-wise equivalent. So there will be different prices. But yes, it is going to be like, when the DVD player came out for the first time. There was, there was some cost associated with it.
It's a premium product though.
Yes,
It
they're
has
not making
all the
it-
bells and whistles.
and these are not. They're not being made off of the cheap entry-level radio platforms.
Right.
These
Yeah.
are all the flagship models.
Right. Exactly.
So,
So it's got, if there's a feature that we've ever made, it's in these products. So
and
it's-
besides, don't you love your truck? You're going to keep it forever. What is it's a couple $100 a year over, to be broken up over the years of enjoyment your truck is going to bring you. I mean, price is nothing. Your happiness is all that matters. You can't put a price on happiness.
You only live once. So
Yes. You only die once too.
I would also like to interject that Dean's statements in no way reflect the views or values of JVC Kenwood.
I mean, call it what you want. I'm just calling it the truth, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to sell this stuff. So is the Maestro now Bose bypassable, or are there head units designed to run through Bose? So there's going to be an interface. They're working on it right now. So if you buy one of these units and you have Bose in there, and it's the most bus Bose system, not the older one, the most bus. It will not function. If you want it to function, you'll have to get a third party Bose interface and or bypass the Bose. When Maestro cracks this, which is going to happen sometime this year, according to them, it will be an add-on piece more than likely, and there'll be more. So, because it is an interface that it has to communicate and do all kinds of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, PAC literally just came out with theirs 2 months ago. This thing has been out for 4 years. They just came out with 2 months ago. So,
tough cookie to crack.
Or lazy, I don't know. It's just what it is.
Benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Is there a cutoff year for direct replacement products?
No. I mean, it's all kinds of year ranges. I mean, some of these are, I would say, I guess some of the oldest models that I've seen on the list are usually 2011, 2010.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's, there's compatibility up to, I think, 2022, 2023, maybe not 25s quite yet. But, things like that are still in the works, right? There's still, like we just talked about, there's still companies trying to figure out interface solutions for newer vehicles, right? So who's that hot stack on man cakes?
Oh, that is great.
I love you, Jeff.
Yeah. No, I like this. The only comment on a Viper is better than Viper got to remove rear passenger tire to access. Not fun at all. 100%. That thing sucks. Got to pull the tire off. That big ass tire to get to the goddamn battery.
Oh yeah, it would have been.
I
guess I'm glad I never had to work on
it. And that's why we have a jack up front, if you wondered why that's up there.
Nope, never even saw it.
Yep. It's day glow green, so you don't trip over it. It's way up front.
I'll have to keep an eye out on my way out.
No, you won't. Yeah, it's okay. I would be willing to pay for even more for an upgrade model, 1080p OLED, thin bezel, GS9 weighted volume knob, Dolby Atmos decoding, and HDMI out for rear entertainment. I mean, that's a home receiver. That's a really good home receiver, plus a TV. I mean,
something like that would cost what a TV costs, like a large TV.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that would be.
I mean, they're all great things. So I'm by no means trying to sound like those are
no
awful requests. Those are great requests.
Perfect. Yeah. And at some point one day we might have that. I mean, dude, okay, so when I started, Kenwood made the P907. Okay, this is long before your time.
I was gonna say I don't know that one.
So the P907 was a motorized screen. It had AM/FM. It had UHF, VHF. Had 2 TV antennas that went in the corner of the windows.
Okay.
It was a 2-piece box plus radio.
Okay.
And the screen would come out and it would go like this, and then you had to lift it up.
Okay.
And then you could do this.
Required manual labor?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine if we did that today?
Oh yeah. Yeah, people would freak out. So then they had the 910 that came out after that.
Okay.
And the 910 was the one that came out and did this, and it went to one hideaway box instead of
KVT.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And that still had TV antennas, but that radio was right at the end of TV reception. So like, it was going away right when TV was going away.
Okay.
And then there was also the music keg.
Now the music keg I am familiar with. We talked about that extensively at one point.
Yeah.
When I made history of Kenwood video that's
Yeah.
on our Kenwood channel.
Yeah.
And that was a really fun video to make, but it was also fun to kind of dig into some of the things that were around before I was.
So you know how the units they have base, what is it? Base on it's what's the feature where it's base on and off? Or base extension.
Yeah. Okay.
So base extension on and off. What that was originally used for was there was a servo motor in the top of the amplifiers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you would turn it on, and the fan would kick on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I had those.
I did a whole deep dive on those.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had two.
It was, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Nope.
but that was like our creation of what today is like a bass knob, right? Like communication, or well, a subwoofer level adjustment and a receiver, right? I mean, it gave you direct control to the amplifier's output, but it also controlled that.
So
motor.
all it was really doing was controlling the motor and removing. It was adding like a high pass filter to the output. So when you did the EQ,
Mm-hmm.
it would not EQ the mid bass.
Okay.
So it would split the EQ, and you could use the EQ to do just the subwoofer.
Got it.
So that's
Okay.
what bass extension was. But there again, it was like adding a true EQ to the subwoofer, but no one could figure it out. I mean, it
Right.
said it in the instructions. From this frequency over, it will just adjust your subwoofer. And from
Okay.
so it was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So when you would adjust the EQ, you could boost the bass and not worry about your mid bass launching through the doors. So
Fair enough.
yeah, it was pretty neat. And there was 2 levels for some reason. I don't remember why, but there was an extra wire that came out of the radio
Okay.
because that went into the trigger on the amplifier.
Got it.
There was a bass extension. You know how every now and then you guys throw an extra wire out for something, and you're like, what these are for?
Cam plus, cam minus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question: would going tossling out into a DSP make the hiss go away at max volume with nothing playing? So you're talking about floor noise.
Mm-hmm.
Floor noise is usually a result of gains being too high or the amplifiers not being of high quality. And typically, yes, is the answer you're looking for. However, at some point, there's a gain stage, and depending on, like, there's still a chance. It does get diminished, though, for sure. So I've always wanted to know, why are amp remote wire inputs big enough for 8-gauge wire when 18-gauge wire is standard? I have no idea. I've never been able to figure that one out myself.
No clue.
I think it's just that's the parts that they buy. So let me ask you this, Josh.
Okay.
Direct replacement. If you could give me 5 things that you want everyone to know about direct replacement, like you've had plenty of time to talk about it over the last few months,
Mm-hmm.
what are some of your takeaways that you feel people should understand? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So my favorite verbiage that we've been sticking to throughout this process of launching this is we made a radio that fits the car instead of making the car fit the radio. Right. And to me, that's like a huge one. That's what has created the freedoms that we have. That's what's helped with the compatibility that we're looking at, right? Because of this new design structure. Like, we don't, I think actually I may have stole this from you in one of our trainings, right? Whenever we say there was, single DIN radios, there's double DIN radios, and now there's direct replacement. It's not a new category of like our receivers like Kenwood and Kenwood Exelon and Exelon Reference and direct replacement. It's a new category of receiver type. So that's like a big one for me, because I genuinely believe that it is the future of where we have to head. I've ended every training that I've done with that because I'm pretty passionate about the fact that, like, for me, this is major. It gives us hope in, outcomes that haven't been amazing can now be amazing again. So the other side to that too is also, I love that it's our premium product. I mean, if we were going to create something like this, it did need to have all the bells and whistles, all the features, the optical outputs, like we talked about in the Exelon Reference family, but also, it got a facelift, right? The pitch and roll source that's now brought into this for customers with Jeeps, or, even like Sprinter vans that are using those to go off-roading, things like that. What is that? I've been buying the car to fit the radio. Bass Ackworth's funny. Sorry, it caught my eye. Right? But you get the pitch and roll. We also integrated split screen Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which again is just something that's more modern now, right? A lot of OEM applications have had it for a little while, and we haven't really seen that in a lot of aftermarket receivers. But it's got all of the features it should have, in my opinion, like the category as a whole. I can't think of anything that it should have that it is missing on my end. I don't know, maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, when you're looking at the needs of what the majority of these applications, and I say majority because I know there are some applications that, would like to have a few special things, but when you're catering to the masses, it's got it all, right? And that's what's beautiful about it. So you've got a great screen resolution that makes a drastic difference over your OEM screen when you upgrade into this. Plus this new form factor, like the other side that's really great is like this product, you interact with this product the exact same way you interact with your factory radio. Like the dash doesn't change, and that's what's really cool. Your factory dash is still used. So your factory volume knob is still used. Your factory, change the channels, getting into your menu, you're changing your different media sources, whatever the case may be. Like all of that interaction stays exactly the same to what it was whenever you had your factory radio in it. And I think that's pretty cool.
I agree.
So
it is.
I don't know if that was 5.
No, it's close enough.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to put a number on it. I just wanted you to say something. One of the things that like when we were in Canada that really hit home for me was, when the car was off, it just looked like the factory radio. Like we didn't do anything.
Right.
And then as soon as we turned it on and that Kenwood logo popped up, and it was like, or the first time when we were at Smash Wrecked Cars, or where the heck the name of that place was.
Crash Cars.
Crash Toys.
Crash Toys. Yeah,
and we're sitting there and we're all intently staring at the screen, and that JVC logo just popped up, and we're like, oh, yeah. And then it just kind of clicked, like, because it just looked like a factory screen. Like, and you got these 3 goofballs staring at it, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Matt Yerger and I call that the light bulb moment. Like that's the moment that it hits home, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you put it all back together and you realize like everything looks like I didn't do anything.
Yes.
And then you turn it on and you're like, oh wait, like I get it, right? That's it.
It's really cool.
That is direct replacement to me. That's what it is.
Yeah. So. I mean, I love the 8-inch screen. I mean, there again, the 10-inch is a means to an end, and, and it allows us to go into a lot more categories like the 4.3-inch F-150s and all those. But the 8-inch to me is, I think, where the magic really shines through.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
It just looks so sick.
I call it the bread and butter of direct replacement. It's the 8-inch, right? The 10-inch is nice, but the 8-inch, that's where it hits home.
Yeah. And there again, like I remember the first couple times, like when we were looking at, when we were showing pictures of this, and everyone was like, so they make a module that talks to the factory screen? And it's like, no,
we're getting rid of that. That sucks.
That's the first piece that goes.
Right. Yeah.
It's like and then the second question is, oh, so is everything built into the screen? No, it's not all built into the screen. Like, slow it down, man.
We are changing those components.
Yeah.
If I did a swap into my wife's car with a new direct replacement, she would think it's a factory piece. Yeah, she would. I mean, there's a chance that she could drive with it for quite some time until she realized it. I mean, unless she's paying attention to like the background or the wallpapers or, my screen looks different, maybe would be the note.
Yeah. It sounds so good now.
It sounds better and it looks better. I don't understand what happened. Yeah.
So anyways, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, no, you're welcome. It's been a long day.
It's been a good day.
Yeah, you got bass in your car now.
I got bass in my car again, and I got, more importantly, an installer scratch.
You got, yes.
I got reinitiated back into the club.
Yeah, so you can go home and show your wife.
Yeah.
And she can kiss your boo-boo.
Yeah.
She won't.
I know. My son's going to be like, can I put a Band-Aid on it? That's the first thing he's going to ask me to do.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
And you have to let him.
Oh, I will.
Hopefully dinosaurs or something.
They're these really cool color changing Band-Aids.
Oh, fantastic.
So you go outside and they change colors.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah. He's got a thing on Band-Aids now.
Oh, dude, they go through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we have a bunch of Band-Aids for our little guy.
Are we good?
We are good. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. Thank you guys so much for giving us your time on this Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
There again, direct replacement. Stay tuned. We'll have some more videos up this week for you guys to do a deep dive on it to compensate for the fact that we won't be here. So we'll be back Monday. I'll be back Monday. So we'll do the show on Monday, Q&A and all that fun stuff. But as far as the rest of the fun and excitement goes, we'll have no news. We'll have no Saturday show. But I will put the other videos up so you guys, if you like, you can check them out. That's all we got. Thank you so much. Thank you, Josh. Good job, Fernando. And you guys have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.